Hey y'all, welcome back. Boy, has it been hot down here. I waited until 7 p.m. tonight to shoot this video so that I could have a comfortable 95 degrees. We'll be lucky if it gets below 80 tonight because it hasn't been doing that. It's been hot. But anyway, I'm going to do a quick tour for y'all today. It probably won't be that quick. But I'm going to tour around and show you what's been growing on around here. Let's start off here with my rain garden. It's filled in completely now with natives and grasses, and that's okay because the things I planted and all the gravel I put in there are still there. This, you can see all the blooms are closed up for the day, but all of these little pink flowers were what opened today, and so this is blooming really heavily, this marsh hibiscus. And I'm going to move us on to this side, and then I'll swing us back around because I want to show you my crepe myrtle over here. So they're all pretty much in full bloom right now. I didn't plant any of these, but I do like them, and they're good for practicing pruning on and good for shaping something you may not care about that much and just getting some good practice in. So over here, of course, is my wilderness area. That goldenrod I pruned back a while ago has really taken off. You can see my cut way down here. Well, now it's very tall, and each one of these little sticks, as promised, has sent out about 4 or 5 new flower stalks. The muscadines are really starting to climb on this fence here, and elderberry is doing great right there. So I can't wait till this area blooms because it's going to be so nice. I never did, oh, well, let me show you this crepe myrtle too. I never did get around to finishing digging out this swale. I'll do that someday. But you can see my persimmon that I cut back. This is the Saruga. I had cut it back because it was getting really tall. It was like twice this, way up here. And it's already grown back quite a bit since I did that. This Fuyu still holding on to 6 persimmons, so I'm looking forward to those. And this Hachia right here has a couple. This one is kind of a smaller tree. I've got some twine in there tying this branch that's holding these 2 fruit to the main branch, so it's helping support it. And then I do have a little stake in between this here. This isn't the best shaped tree, but I'm gonna let it fruit this year and then work on shaping it from there. New things over here. I've got a beautyberry, American beautyberry, and I've got coneflower. The squash, of course, are going crazy. Pretty much everywhere I look. There's a Seminole pumpkin. There's Tahitian melon squash. There's South Anna squash. And then there's all kinds of melons on the other side. But you can see they've really filled out here. Let me finish this side over here. There's the American persimmon. My daylilies I threw in here, some of them are blooming, and I've had a second round of blooms on quite a few of my daylilies. I was going to cut this banana back for chop and drop biomass, but Barbie said she really liked it and thinks it's pretty, so I'm going to leave it for now, though it is kind of in my pathway here. My apples are doing really well here, but the squash are basically like up to this first tier here, and there's fruit all in here. I mean, everywhere you look, there's a Seminole. This one was a South Anna. There's a Tahitian, another South Anna, and Seminole. South Anna. South Anna seems to be doing really well. That might be a keeper. This is my oldest Tahitian and it's getting hard, but it's not quite hollow sounding yet, which I've read is a telltale sign that it's ready. And these are supposed to take 4 months or so, so I'm not expecting till like August. This plum has really taken off this year, but the leaves are pretty heat stressed right now. The nectarines are both doing really well, and this that other plum was Blue Damson. This is Santa Rosa. It's doing great. Sun Gold, Sun Red, the Abelia here is really blooming, and then I've got Roselle that I planted from seed right here. Sorry for spinning y'all so much. And right over here. So we still have a ton of Roselle from last year. Ooh, my bee balm's blooming back in there. And daylilies, random daylilies, sent up second rounds of scapes, so won't argue with that. Or the pomegranate, is that a flower? Oh, it's got a new flower. It's already had a few flowers. That's a cluster of them. There's about 4 on there. And melons, oh my gosh. I've got golden honeydew. I've got Charleston gray. This thing is just huge. I harvested a sugar baby right here yesterday. You can see the vines were dying around where the fruit was, which is a telltale sign that it's ready. I've got another giant golden honeydew right here, and then more sugar baby and moon and stars. Let's see, we got it's a big star. I wouldn't call it a moon, but lots of little stars on there. And then, ooh, this is my favorite crepe myrtle. It's a black diamond, and it's just beautiful. I love these white flowers against the foliage. So things are doing really well in the front. I was not lucky with squash last year. I think it was my varieties. Here's that chair. It's grown back a lot since that summer pruning video. You can see it really fills out with growth here. So I'm going to need to come in and check all this to get my seed exposed again. And I'm still planning on digging this up and moving it to right here in the winter. It'll be more in the center of the food for us for Asher to enjoy, and it won't destroy the concrete as much. Well, there's a little spider building the web for the night, because like I said, it is 7 p.m. here, even though it is 95 degrees still. But yeah, everything's just doing great up here, and I'm watering occasionally. If it hasn't rained in 3 days, I'll come out and water a little bit, but really not very much. You can see the comfrey. They're showing you that I'm not really watering that much, but all the trees, they're not having an issue with it. They're doing great. That pawpaw, these pears, the peaches. So I think that's pretty much it for the front here, and we'll head around to the back. Alright, so I'm still getting tons of cherry tomatoes. I went with all cherries this year because none of my larger fruits did well last year, but the cherry tomatoes just kept blooming and fruiting no matter how hot it got. And I mean, we've been in this heat dome for quite some time, and everything's still producing, still making new little babies. The beans, the cowpeas, black-eyed peas are doing really well. Still making more beans. This is a native. It's a relative of a cucamelon, and it has these little bitty fruits. They get about twice as big as this, but they taste exactly like a little tart cucumber. They're just delicious. I love that thing. It came up this year, and I ID'd it, and I'm so happy to have it. Mayhaw, Persian mulberry, The Suicene mulberries getting tall back here. Oh, this is a pineapple sage. It makes delicious edible red flowers. And back here is the stevia, which is just doing great in here. So I'm going to probably propagate this some and plant more for Asher in this area. I'm going to have to clean out some of this blue mist flower, which is a native that I love, but I think we might have a big enough patch of it here that I can dig some out. It'll be all right. This Pakistan mulberry cutting I put in here is starting to get above the blue mist and actually do really well, so I'm happy about that. I hope it can survive this winter. The creek bed, I did a little weeding in here and cleaned it out, and I kind of just treat this creek bed as another wilderness area. I've got I believe these are chamber bitters, and there's frog fruit and lots of other, that's a narrow leaf, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in text for you. Uh-oh. This is alligator weed, which is not something I like to see. It's very aggressive grower. This is the swamp milkweed or swamp hibiscus in the back, swamp mallow, marshmallow, and it is not doing well this year, not nearly as good as the one in the front that I showed y'all earlier. Elephant ear, I'm really gonna have to thin this out some next year because it is getting huge. I mean, this was just a couple leaves when I planted it. Turmeric that I planted back here is starting to come up and do well. This one right here is a black turmeric, and these other ones, all right, had to delete some stuff to make space on my phone, but as I was saying, these other ones are the orange variety that most people are used to. This bald cypress is only a year old. Eastern Blue Star didn't bloom this year. Not sure if they're going to have a late bloom, but hopefully. The white hibiscus are closed for the night because, like I said, it's 7 o'clock. We've been having heat indexes of 115 pretty regularly, and so I'm out here sweating my butt off, and then the sun's about to set. But anyway, check out the growth on these mulberries and the avocado since my last video, and the blackberries, pomegranate. These figs are doing great. This fig circle here, or fig triangle, I'm going to kind of like intertwine them, encourage growth like this, and then I'll have an entrance here where people can come to the middle. Probably end up getting rid of this mother plant right here and chopping it up for cuttings, just because this gumi is growing so much, and so are all the blackberries. They've gone crazy after just a year, the thornless ones. Satsuma got lots of new growth. This thing's finally taking off. It's finally gonna do well. Ironweed, taller than me already. I love the purple flowers. There's the lemongrass. This is a native frog fruit that I have in the back over there too. Malabar. Of course, the field of Touch Me Not mimosa. And then I've got this volunteer tomato that's just taken over this compost area. I'm not sure what variety this is. No telling. The ground cherries finally starting to grow and make some little cherries, but they're not ripe yet. I've got Aunt Molly, Cossack pineapple, and then Inca goldenberry. So I've got several different kinds here. The basil's really starting to come in, and of course more tomatoes back here. Whew, I'm thinking of moving some strawberries under these blueberries here, and they can fight with the parsley and chives and cilantro, but I'd rather that than having to pull weeds all the time. A friend of mine on Instagram gave me a bunch of walking onion buds. It looks like bulbils, rather. It looks like something dug these up right here, but I have them all throughout this area, and I'm really hopeful that some of them take off and start to do well. I've wanted that one for a long time. I harvested it earlier, but we did have a good sized bell pepper on here, so at least one of these is a bell pepper. I've got shishito and other things sown in here. You can see the chard aren't happy with the heat, and they've also got something munching on them. But I think that's really about it for this video. God, it is just so hot, y'all. It's crazy. This heat dome that's been hanging over us, not natural, and we're lucky to get below 80, like I said, at night, which isn't really good for plants or animals. You need to get in the 70s at least for things to try and cool down. And when you get up at 5 in the morning and the sun hasn't risen yet, and it's already just sweltering, oppressively hot, it's not much fun to be outside. So I've been doing what I can in short spurts, but I'm not out here as much as I'd like to be between mosquitoes and the heat. But still getting lots of food, got lots more on the way, and thank y'all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night.